Hello, Uni.
Are you okay? Are you?
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Cause she until like she's sleeping. Welcome back to another YouTube channel, YouTube video.
And our topic today, again, will be subjects we hated in school. And I'll also add liked as well, subjects we hated and liked in school. So, Tony will start.
Okay, so the subjects that I really liked in school, I'm gonna start with secondary school. In secondary school, I really liked maths, and I had I'm a more like a girl that like numbers. I like numbers and calculations and stuff like that. What I hated the most in school was English lit and lang. And funny enough, my first language is English, but I can't speak that properly due to my dialect and subject and verb agreement. So I am not very good at those subjects in secondary school. In alright, we won't talk about sixth form. We'll talk about college. In college, I like majority of the subjects that I did. Although some of them were really hard, I really enjoy it because I was able to learn about the human body and stuff like that. But I would say I really hated anything that had me reading. So like sociology and psychology. And the funny thing is I got an A in psychology and I got a C in sociology because I didn't like reading and learning them kind of things because what does it have to do with nursing? Well, that was my thought when I was in school, college. So, yeah.
Well, in secondary school, fun fact about us, I think we went to about 9 schools overall. Actually,
yeah.
for me, I think I went, no, I would have had to went more schools by now. I've been in school my entire life. From preschool
Straight to those still in university.
to university, and I'm still in school. So I've been in school. I've been to a lot of schools. We went to just. I know this is a little bit off the topic, but we went to preschool. We went to Workman's. We went to
Where you went?
I went to Workman's. I went to St. Anne's preschool. I went to Lawrence Tigay. We went to Market Lane and Malvern in Canada. That's public, I think public school.
Public schools, yeah.
And then I'm gonna say that we went to Leicester one as well because I went to Leicester one because that's my secondary school. So
my secondary school is Aline.
Hold on. You had your turn just now and you did not big up Aline, but I'm here to big up Leicester one. Okay, big up to Leicester one.
Big up to Aline.
You had your opportunity to do that and you failed at that. Okay. After that, we went to Lodge. Both of us went to Lodge Sixth Farm. I went to UE, and from Canada, we went to George Brown College. I'm at Yard University right now.
I went to Barbados Community College for you, babe.
Right. So back on topic now. Okay. So Leicester Vaughan, the best school in Barbados. Okay. So for me in secondary school, Tony hated English and I love English and I love the social sciences. So social studies, I loved English literature, English language, office administration. Those are the subjects that I did. And French was in between because I like French, but for some reason we never really stuck to French that type of way. But we did okay in French too. At least I did okay in French. I'm sure Tony did too.
Yeah.
But the subjects I hated, math, math. Anything to do with numbers and more math. Right. Those are the subjects that I hated in secondary school. And I remember like I was doing so bad in math, so poorly. I just could not figure out the numbers at all. Numbers and me don't agree. But except for when I'm budgeting. For some reason, when I'm budgeting, it does make a lot of sense. And I have been doing well so far in terms of budgeting, so I know it makes a lot of sense. But I remember we used to go to lessons. My math teacher in at lesson one, I can't remember my math teacher name. I feel bad. I feel bad, but I can't remember her name. But we used to go to her lesson. We used to go to her house for lessons, and I used to do so poorly. But I remember my math teacher told me one day, "Don't worry, you gonna pass this math." And I was wondering what she talking about because I was doing so bad. But you know what? I actually passed. I was so proud of myself. I passed it with a 3, but I still passed it. So, in university now, I'm gonna skip to university now. The subjects, anything I loved was with the social sciences. Anything to do with social sciences, I'm okay with. I'm good with. And so sociology, anything to do with socials, I am good with. But anything to do with numbers, I actually did finance and I did pretty well in finance. I did pretty well in accounts. I did okay in accounts. So those could pass. It wasn't too bad, but of course I was still, with the numbers. I did business and I did pretty good with business too. But the worst for me was statistics. Statistics was, I was pulling out my hair with statistics.
It's true, because when it was studying time, honestly, my sister was a book whiz, like a total
Yeah, I
book
was
whiz.
a grumpy.
Yeah, very grumpy.
I was like, because statistics was just snotty. And I was like, who even came up with the concept of statistics? Like, it's ridiculous. But I actually did pretty great in statistics, and it's only by the grace of God that I got through it. Would I want to do it again? Never again. Don't ever want to see it in my life again. But I mean, every day, you may have some level of statistics somewhere, but not to the extent I did it in university. I don't want to have to do it again, at least for the most part. But yeah, for me, the social sciences are always great, and those are my strengths and my weaknesses.
For me personally, when I did nursing, I had to do a course called epidemiology. Now, if statistics had my sister head in a shamble, I would not want her to see what epidemiology look like.
Study of people.
I can't remember what it is now. But all I know it is real. It is a lot of calculations. You have to do per population,
right,
and all kind of thing, and it was a lot of calculations. Now that's my thing. I actually got a B+ in that the first time I wrote it, and that's the only time I wrote it. But yeah, I love numbers. For some reason, I love numbers, and I lost my love for math when I got into sixth form because it went from numbers to letters, and me and letters don't add. So I like I was better with the statistics, epidemiology. I did a little bit of statistics, not much. I guess when I go on to do my masters by God's grace, I guess I would cross that hurdle. But I am really good with numbers, and it's funny. My mother has two opposite children when it comes
completely opposite.
When it comes to academics, because my sister likes reading. She if it just got in letters and reading and stuff, she could break it down. Me, no. Give me the numbers. I could add, subtract, divide, and multiply, matrices and all. So my mom has two different children, and the funny thing is, my dad loves numbers and my mom loves reading. Imagine. So I mean, it's just funny how that goes. But let me just say something, just by the way. My sister, she is an English student. So let me just say that for CXC, she got a 3 in English language, and me, the numbskull in English, I got a 2.
That's because mommy really, really worked hard on you because she knew that you was not too
I
good
was
with.
very dumb with it.
But let's just say I got a 2 in English literature.
And I got no grade because I didn't do it.
I got a 2 in English literature, and I got a 2 in social studies.
I got a 2 in
I don't know what
social
happened
studies
in
too.
English language. I must have was sleeping in the exam. But
Well, I
yeah.
passed it, and I passed maths with a 2 as well. But to me, CSE is not really like it's not a big thing. No, your big thing now is your bachelor's, your master's,
Right.
whatever. And Shanita is working on her bachelor's, and by God's grace, when I do my application, I will be going on to doing my master's too. So something in the works. What we
Yeah,
doing?
but as Tony said, as Tony said in her little side note there just now, yeah, it's important to do well in school, but it doesn't matter where your child goes to school.
Correct.
Because, and I'm talking about secondary school for those in Barbados, because at the end of the day, um, a school is a school. When you get there, it's how hard you work.
Correct.
Because you could do really, really well in the common entrance exam and end up at QC or 8C or Comamere or Large or one of those other schools, and then foundation, whatever, and then you end up at the school and not do so well, right?
Correct.
Or you could end up at one of the schools that people don't want, like, Grantley or St. George or one of those, and you could do exceptionally well. At the end of the day, there's one university in Barbados, right? Technically, and one college, and so you could still end up, as long as you have your CSEs, you can still end up at the same BCC and the same University of the West Indies. If you travel outside of Barbados, you can end up in the Caribbean. You can end up at one of their universities. If you travel to America, Canada, UK, whatever, you can end up in universities there too. And the sky is the limit. Just because you go to a certain school does not make you less than or dumpsy.
I'm telling you.
It is how you apply yourself, and also everybody's not academically inclined. Some people are very great with their skills and
Correct.
their trades, and trust me, trades bring in money too.
But I also wanted to say too, right? Going back to what my sister said about going to different schools. Trust me, I went to college with people that went Harrison's, Queens, and Comamere, Springer, Les Savon, St. James, St. George. The point of the matter is, when you go in for a job, nobody asks you where did you went to school.
You went to, yeah.
What is your degree? Is what they ask you. Or I want to see the certificate of your degree. So that's something that needs to be said in the upfront. I would have been. I even sitting when I was working at my previous workplace back home. I had people around me who went to quote unquote the big up schools or whatever. And all of us are nurses today. I know a doctor, she went to Ellerslie, and she not only is she like a doctor, she's a whole consultant. So she now got people working under her.
She's a top doctor.
She's a top doctor, right? So it don't matter where you went, school is work up in here and how you want to further your studies. And everybody, it don't matter. I want Barbados to just stop with this thing. But oh, this is a high school, and this school low. No school is low. The teachers they are not low. So how on God's earth the school is low?
Yes, and so wherever you go, as a teacher, you should do your best to make sure your students are capable of becoming the best of the best, because everybody that's in the government workers, not really workers, but I mean like the Senate, whatever,
Right.
those people that are doctors, as Tony just said, people that are lawyers, people that are engineers, people that don't always come from a CQC and all the top schools.
Correct.
In Canada, there's no such thing as a
Top school.
top school. You go to the school that's closest to your house.
Correct.
And then from there, everybody wants to go to university or college.
And everybody freaks out about the university too. But here's the thing. Again, they don't ask you what university you went to. Where is your degree?
Yeah.
Right. So all of that, in my view, just do what you have to do and make yourself proud. Make you and your family proud.
in Canada, I don't even think there's a top university. I just think you might have your preference based on certain things, or maybe what they're teaching at the university. You might do your research or whatever. But all the universities here are great, and there are so many that you can choose from. There's so many colleges that you can choose from. And when you're done, as Tony said, nobody asks you where you went to school. They ask you. They don't even ask to see your GPA. They just want to see that you're certified in whatever it is that you graduated from. If you're a nurse, they want to see that you're a certified nurse or whatever. That's basically it.
Yeah.
So
whenever Shanita goes for interviews, they ask her for her diploma. When they
don't ask me for my diploma.
Oh, they don't ask you. What they ask
they might ask for the diploma, but they don't ask for the GPA. They don't ask for anything like
They
that.
don't ask me for GPA. They will say, send me your degree so that we can see that you have passed
that you actually went to school. It's not a case that to see like how you did in school, but it's just to show proof. So mostly they won't really ask me for my diploma. They might, but they mostly ask for my certification, my registration to show that I'm actually a registered early child educator. Right. So that's basically what it is.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, don't worry yourself. Just go to school, do what you have to do, get out, pass the exams that you need to pass, and that's it. So, anything else, my sister?
That is it.
Okay. So please continue to like,
share,
and subscribe. Leave a comment letting us know what were your favorite subjects, or what are your favorite subjects in school. And also let us know what you think about the video. And until next time.
Bye bye.